The new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero patch officially went live a few hours ago, and while it has solved many issues people have with the game, it's also added even more and one that's especially really bad. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about what the patch said it was going to fix, and then what actually ended up getting fixed, because there was a lot more than was actually stated before. So let's just get straight into this. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, back to more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and what you're seeing right now is the gameplay of me playing the nerfed Yajirobe in the background. We're not going to be talking about nerfed Yajirobe yet, because he's not really nerfed, spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about what the patch said they were going to fix, and the Dragon Ball Games Twitter account officially stated, an update for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is planned around late October, and will include improvements of issues where some controls become unresponsive during online matches when classic controls are selected. An adjustment of difficulty levels when playing certain stages in episode battle on lower difficulty settings, as well as the adjustment of Yajirobe stats and improved overall operational stability. So basically, improving the game balance, improving the game stability, adjusting Yajirobe stats, adjusting some story mode difficulty, because a lot of people are saying story mode is mad hard in Sparking Zero, and fair enough, it's pretty tough, as well as adjusting the controls when you're picking standard and classic. Apparently, if one person is standard and one person is classic and you end up in a match together, the controls just die. That was apparently the issue why some people couldn't character swap, and why some people's super attacks were locked up to just being like people could only use one super attack. It was so weird. I don't use classic controls in Sparking Zero, so it never affected me, but the character swap one really bothered me a lot. So the patch eventually went live, and what did the patch fix? The patch fixed a lot of these things. You can actually use both your supers if you're playing on classic controls, and when you're playing on standard controls, you can actually character swap. I was able to character swap in every match I played. I've been playing Sparking Zero for like an hour since the patch came out, and I was able to character swap in every match. It works like a charm. I want to say, though, character swapping feels more responsive, transforming feels more responsive, and doing super attacks at the end of combos also feels more responsive. It doesn't feel like I'm punching the air as much. You know when you would open the menu to do a super or an ultimate attack, and the game would just make you do perception a bunch, or just punch in the air rather than transform? I feel like that didn't happen nearly as much when I was playing now. It might have not even happened at all, to be honest, but I wasn't paying too much attention to how quick that specific part of the game was. I do want to say, though, that does feel far more responsive. So doing supers at the end of combos, transforming when you need to, and character swapping when you need to, all of that is a lot better than how it was when the game first came out. So thank God. And I know we're only 2 minutes into the video, but that's where the good part ends. Now we're going to talk about a bit more of the neutral stuff before we actually move on to the straight up bad that the patch added or didn't even address at all. So with some of the more neutral stuff in Sparking Zero in general, people wanted obviously an adjustment to stuff like super counters, Z counters, after image strike. All of those things are really plaguing the game right now, making the online kind of just really routine or super boring. Almost feels like, I don't want to say it almost feels like Xenoverse 2, that's too harsh, but it feels like there's just like a pattern that every single match will follow no matter what. The pattern that one person will just spam super counters the entire match, and then both of you end up in Z counter clashes for basically most of the match time. You both could literally only have 3 characters on your team, and the match will still run out of time because you spend most of the match just doing Z counters over and over again. People wanted an adjustment to that. There was nothing about it. Maybe in the next patch, hopefully. The game did just come out, so patches will be quick. The game hasn't entered its anime game death era yet, where it takes a year for a patch to come out, so hopefully they address super counters, Z counters, and the like later. And after image strike is still one of the best skills in the game. Now, spoiler up to Yajirobe's Sensu Bean skill, it did actually get adjusted. Yajirobe's Sensu Bean skill is an entire skill count higher to activate. It used to cost 5 skill count, now it costs 6. And because of that, Yajirobe's max skill count is also 6, so technically he did get buffed in a way because the skill count is just bigger now. He can do more gameplay stuff than he could before, but realistically, Yajirobe is just going to be spending that on his Sensu Bean. So hopefully with After Image Strike, they change it to cost 4 skill counter. In fact, I'm going to be honest, it should cost 5. It's that good. It's the best skill in the game. It's just way better than Sensu Bean. After Image Strike should cost 5, but most likely they'll just buff it to 4 or something. Either way, that's fine. It takes longer for people to use After Image Strike, meaning there's more time to actually play the game. Thank God. So that's with the neutral, and now I want to talk about the straight up bad or just not addressed stuff. In the straight up bad, we know that Bandai Namco Dragon Ball Games account has officially said this themselves. This isn't speculation or people complaining on the internet. This is them saying this themselves. The Dragon Ball Games account has said the patch is now live. Also, we are aware of remaining issues and are investigating. The issues in question are character ranks being reset to 0. So for example, if you're playing ranked single battles where your character would have its own individual rank, there's a chance your rank got reset to 0, meaning there's a good chance that if you are the number one, I don't know, Jiren player, you are most likely, you lost all your points, and you should probably go check that now. Right now, while you're watching this video, just check if your single battle character rank has been reset or not. That's worth checking. So there's a good chance your character rank got reset. Very unfortunate. One of the other issues, and this one I noticed a lot, is connection errors and online matching issues. It feels way harder to get into a match now in Sparking Zero. At least a player match, ranked matches still felt kind of consistent to get into, but player matches were a nightmare to get into. There was either no player lobbies when I searched 1 second, or there was a bunch of player lobbies, but I couldn't get into any one of them when I tried all of them. And then the next, like, it would show a bunch of player lobbies, I would refresh, then there would be no player lobbies again. And it would just not find any single lobby. And Dragon Ball Sparking Zero isn't a dead game, alright? People haven't, it's not Xenoverse 2. People haven't run away from it yet, alright? So it's just really weird how I search and I can't find any lobbies 1 second, and then another second I find a bunch of lobbies, but I can't even join any of them. So that sucks. I've also seen a lot of random disconnects. Now, I know these aren't people rage quitting on me because they disconnect at the weirdest time, like in the middle of comboing me, or like at the start of the match would literally just start and they would disconnect, and then I would repair up with them again and they would disconnect. And it's not like they're trying to avoid me because this isn't a player match. They could just kick me if they don't want to fight me. So there's been a lot more connection issues in general. That is just bizarre. And the last one, which is the most disgusting one, corrupted save data. Now, we already knew there was an issue in Sparking Zero where on PC, or not PC, but PlayStation and Xbox in particular, your game's save files could actually just like mess up or corrupt, or some other like nightmarish issue could happen with your game's systems. In Sparking Zero, that's obviously like really bad, and you don't want that to happen. That's just a nightmare scenario. But now, even the Dragon Ball Games account is saying this themselves, showing that the issue is still here. It didn't get patched when it did the patch, as well as the fact that it must be even greater than it was before if they're actually mentioning it now. Because this was an issue when the game came out. They could have mentioned it before when they were talking about, you know, oh, we're going to change the game's balance, we're going to affect the Yajirobe, we're going to do like this and this and that. You know, they didn't mention the corrupted save data then. They're mentioning it now, which means it's a real big issue now. So be careful. Again, just like your ranked status, check your Sparking Zero if your save data is corrupted. It seems like corrupted save data might be an issue that Sparking Zero will suffer for just a bit longer. So I'm begging you now, if you have like a memory card or like a USB or anything, try and make a backup of your more recent saves in Sparking Zero. Just quickly also go do that now while you're watching this video, because there's a good chance that there might be another patch that messes up your game, and this time you might get affected by it, and you don't want that. So please do your best to avoid the corrupted save data issue in Sparking Zero by backing up your save literally as soon as possible whenever you can. Another thing I want to say about Sparking Zero really quick, and this is just more about the things that they said that they did patch, so I'm just going to go over that really quick. When it comes to stuff like controls responsiveness, they did actually make it so, you can swap characters again, which is really nice. And people who are playing with classic controls can also, like, use both of their super attacks. But I still feel like it takes really damn long to swap characters in this game, or transform in this game. Like, doing super attacks, yeah, you can sometimes get lucky and they actually come out when you press the button. But character swapping, while it does work all the time now, still feels really slow, mostly because character swapping is delay-based, like the whole netcode is for this game. I don't know why this game doesn't use rollback netcode. I mean, Fighters rollback netcode doesn't work, so that's fair, but like Dragon Ball The Breaker's crossplay works, and they didn't even put that in this game, so I don't know, man. They were doing some weird stuff behind the scenes on the technical side of this game, but yeah, doing stuff like transforming and swapping characters still feels like it takes a while. I feel like every time I try to swap characters, I always get hit by at least 15 key blasts before it actually comes out. I mean 15 of the enemy's key blasts, because it just takes a while for that control to happen. And the other thing that they said they adjusted, which is Yajirobe stats, and I'll make a video on this later, probably like a Yajirobe like solo video, like how Yajirobe is still overpowered. I've had 5 people rage quit on me since Yajirobe's been nerfed, so that tells you everything you need to know about the Yajirobe nerf. It's not, he's still like amazing. So whenever they nerf something in the future, like Afterman Strike is a good example, it probably won't get affected that much. Yajirobe's nerf basically just took away 5,000 health from the character, so now he has 3 health bars and a half of extra health. Then also his Senzu Bean, the main reason why he's an issue, is 6 skill counter rather than 5 skill counter, and Yajirobe starts the match with 0 skill counter rather than 2, meaning that at the first Senzu Bean he takes in the match is going to take longer than it used to take. Before, Yajirobe would only have to wait for 3 skill counter to do a Senzu Bean, which is the same thing as Goku just waiting for enough skill counter to go basically like into Super Saiyan Blue. But now Yajirobe has to wait for 6, which is double the time Goku has to wait to go Super Saiyan Blue. Again, these all sound like they're really good on paper, and I'm gonna be honest, Yajirobe is objectively weaker than he used to be, but he's still very strong. So it seems like nerfs in this game aren't gonna really do too much to affect the game's balance. Afterman Strike, again, will most likely just get a very slight nerf, where they either like maybe lower the amount of dodges by 1, or just raise the skill counter necessary for it by 1. Again, that would make it objectively weaker. It would just still be a really strong skill that everyone would use. I don't imagine anyone's going to take Yajirobe off their teams anytime soon, because he's still amazing, even with the nerf. So I'm just saying in mind, if they say they're going to buff or nerf anything, don't expect too much. The status of the thing will probably still remain the same unless if there's like a massive community backlash. Like if Beast Gohan comes out and he's trash, that's probably when they'll like actually like, you know, buff him to be like insane. Or if Beast Gohan comes out and he's too OP. Actually, if he's too OP, they'll probably just leave him like that because you have to pay money for him. Either way, I think that's a great place to end the video, guys. If there's any other issues with Sparking Zero you've noticed, please let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know what in general you think about Sparking Zero right now, the status of Sparking Zero, or the current patches, or how you feel like patches will affect Sparking Zero. Because Sparking Zero did just come out. It seems like the first few patches are quite rough for this game. I honestly think Xenoverse's first patch went better than this, but you guys let me know what you think so far. And that'll be it. Again, hope you enjoyed. Love you all. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It greatly supports the channel. Leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. And I will see you fellas all next time. Take care and peace.